Welcome to the Digital Growth Hack Club, where we help you elevate your business and your bottom line. Here is your host, Jenny Jones.
Hey, this is Jenny Jones, Digital Growth Hacks Club. Hey, listen, I had to get on a call with founder Harish Kumar from CrawlQ, right? CrawlQ, not CrawlIQ, CrawlQ. Wanted to get on a call with him and says, hey, listen, can we break this down even simpler, right? I've been getting a lot of calls and different requests, and people have been emailing me, hey, man, I love this tool, but what's a good way? Give me 4 easy steps. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do, this is part 1, and you'll probably be able to catch part 2 possibly tomorrow. But what I want to do is at least part 1. Let's talk about the research first that goes into setting it up. So what I'm going to have Mr. Kumar do is either introduce himself, and then I'm going to turn over the share screen to him. And so I want him to go ahead and just introduce himself or introduce the tool if he needs to, or if anybody that's not familiar with the tool. Go ahead, Mr. Kumar.
Hey, Jenny, again, thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure always to be on the Jenny Jones studio. And I like the background, and I keep the same background. So
yeah, it looks like you're out on the beach all the time. I call. I said, man, this guy's never working. He's always on the beach.
Let's have some consistency, right?
Oh, for sure.
Right. So we are consistent. Hey, so again, those who are listening, that's a fantastic opportunity to this year to focus on human AI. So all the time last year, we are talking about artificial intelligence, and let's shift the gear this year to talk about human AI. And what I exactly mean by that humans should be in control of artificial intelligence. And that's where I think CrawlQ make a big headway, because everything that you do from start to end, right? Everything is controlled by your input. You are guarding this. And I don't want to use the word slave, but forgive me for this, but we are almost trying to slave the artificial intelligence so that it can produce the outcome that we want, right? That's what CrawlQ stands for, to really have a controlled, human-driven experiment with artificial intelligence and get you really specific outcome with a specific target audience that you're looking to talk in this new year. Does that make sense, Jenny?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I was the funny thing about it is I was testing about 5 AI tools. I'm not going to even get into the names right now, but I have 2 monitors, so I had all these screens open in all these tabs. And so what I did was I put what I was looking for. I was looking for a subtopic or a opening topic for one of the new websites I was building. And I just put the phrase, whatever it was, in each one. And I got all these different, I got a large variation, right, of different responses. Some of the tools allow you to say, hey, what kind of response you want back? You want it humorous? You want it serious? You want it jovial? And my whole thing was like, I don't really know what I want back. So why don't you just give me whatever you give me back? And if I like it, then I'll use it. And what I'm still realizing as time go on, because that's short form, right? I didn't want to get into anything long. I didn't want to get into a blog or anything. I just wanted to do some short form, but it still goes back to who in the heck was I talking to, right? And I couldn't answer that. So I had to stop the whole exercise. I said, you know what? I'm going to be meeting with Kumar. Let's go ahead and do that. So what I'd like for you to do is, for the users out there, is if someone is wanting to break into digital media, I mean, this year in 2022, if somebody wanted to just break into digital media, can you walk me through what that would look like?
Right.
Can you walk me through what that would look like?
Yeah. Let's get into the tool right away from here and perform 4 simple steps. So we are going to create a workspace. In this workspace, we are going to identify a target audience, and we are going to answer a few business questions, and then we are going to do a simple research and train Athena. Shall we do that?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll talk about Athena maybe later, or as we transition to the next half and what we want Athena to do, because Athena right now is probably throwing people off. So let's get in that later. So go ahead and you can share your screen.
Okay, great. Are you ready?
You should be. I think I put the.
Definitely, you see these tabs, right? These are all workspaces. These are all directed towards one single buyer persona, and I'm keep calling it persona workspace. But what I mean by that is Fred. Fred is we are targeting Fred with a specific business topic, right? So here you can see that you can start.
So again, Fred means fear.
The person who has fears, he wants results, he has expectations, and he has desire. So always think about your best friend, the best friend that you know, and let's start from that best friend and the business topic or business idea you have, right? So let's think that you have a best friend. Maybe it's I'll tell you, but we can name it for now like that. But let's start with answering few questions. So I pressed already like a create workspace button. And for this purpose, I did pre-answer some questions, but let's approach them how I started. So what's your name? My name is Harish, or here I wanted actually write Jenny Jones because I was doing this search for you. Define your niche. So of course, the first starting point, and you can exactly follow the examples here. So a student and young professionals who are looking for career in digital marketing. So see the difference. Like in other tool, you will start how to start in digital marketing, but no, here we are saying the first sentence, the first word is student and young professionals who are looking for a new career in digital marketing. Does that make sense? Right? That's our starting point.
Okay.
Then we sort of take this statement and make it more specific. When I say more specific, means we've sort of drill down into a more detailed situation or a specific situation. So let's say students and young professional who desires to open a new door for their career in digital marketing strategies, brand management, and growth hacks. So now see the difference. I'm still talking about that student, young professional, but I am just breaking down the digital marketing into three sort of connected topics, right? Digital marketing strategies, brand management, and growth hack. Just with me for some time, right? Now, let's make it more micro, more specific. So young student and professional.
So let me ask you this, right? Let me stop you there. So when you go from sub niche to micro niche, what is the learning on the back end? What is it actually doing? It's just, hey, I have a person that lives at, it's almost like when you're zooming in on when you're doing any type of advertising or you're looking at any type of Google Maps, when you press the plus button, it just zooms down and zooms down. Is that kind of what we're doing? Is because the more zoomed in you are, the better your results are going to be. Is that what's going on here?
Exactly. Going broad is a big mistake that we know and everyone is telling us, but how to do this is exactly this zooming in approach that we are doing in here.
Okay.
If I would have said digital marketing, then it's quite broad, right?
It is. Digital marketing is a very large field, but you're saying, hey, I want to drill it down even further. So the first step is I just want to make sure I get the steps correct. So the first step is to answer this questionnaire, or the first step is to what?
First step is just answer this questionnaire.
Okay.
Based on your best guess, and you just think that you are going to meet your best friend.
Now, am I going to get it perfect? Am I going to get it perfect this first time? Will I have an opportunity to come back and drill it down and get it tighter?
Yes, you will go back and generate insights, and you can at that time again refine it, again make it more perfect.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want the whole thing to break if I don't get everything exactly the first time. Is that so? We do have flexibility in a tool to do that.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
You can change it later. I don't want to use word gut feeling because that's not how marketer make decisions based on gut feeling. Based on your understanding, based on your like you wanted to target someone and you know your best friend, right? So just think about the target best friend, and at this moment, this best friend is someone who is a student and young professional who is looking for a career in digital marketing. And I
Okay.
just broken down this digital marketing into more specific way into digital marketing
Okay.
strategies, brand management, and growth hacks.
Okay. And
Now,
then,
I wanted to do one more step. And why
right.
I am doing this is exactly the reason that you mentioned in the beginning, that you start with one keyword and then you get different directions. And that's what we are trying to avoid here.
Avoid
So
it. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
so micro niche, young student and professional. See, still I'm talking about the same person, young student and professional who is interested in data-driven research and human AI to make the right decisions with growth, profitability, and social responsibility. Now, see, I have narrowed down digital marketing, growth management to further in a very specific way,
Right.
like our new age marketer in 2022. We want to use data driven research and human AI to make the right decisions. And there are elements are growth, profitability, and social responsibility. That's where I wanted to target my micro niche. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, but to me, that's an advanced response. I don't think an average person
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
this, I don't think an average person putting this input in is going to be
Yeah.
able to get that response. That's a very good response.
Yes, it's just I was into too much into it, but you can go even based on your knowledge, what you know about your best friend, right?
Okay.
So let's drill down further. So we are defining here industry vertical. So digital marketing, career opportunities. That's what my vertical was. Not into like the digital marketing, but specific vertical career opportunities because my target audience is a student and young professionals. Does that make
So are
sense?
you, yeah, at the same time, do you begin with the end in mind? Like, I want to produce a document and or research paper on the back end. I want to know what I'm doing on the back end, and that allows me an opportunity to be able to answer some of these questions on the front end. Does that, like, hey, I want to put out a blog or I want to put out a white paper?
Yes.
Then do I think about that first before I sit down and start filling this out?
No, you don't need to think what type of content you're going to make. You need to
Okay.
just think about your best friend, your target audience, and what the topic that you want to target or talk to your target audience. So at this stage, we are creating a general research which can be applied to white paper, blog, Instagram post, Facebook ad, whatever the content you
Okay.
name. We can create content. At this
Okay.
stage, we don't need to think about the output, just
Okay.
about the research and purely focus on like the audience, right? And now I'm writing a small in a story way. So hypothetically, I assume that your best friend is Cody James, and he's
Right.
a 26-year-old student. He's pursuing an advanced hands-on, on-the-job digital marketing diploma from Jenny Jones School of Advanced Marketing.
All
It's
right. That's good.
your
Yeah.
School of Marketing, Jenny Jones
Okay.
School of Advanced Marketing, right? This Advanced Marketing Institute is in California, where I think you live, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And your best friend, who is Cody James, he really desired to find a great career opportunity in one of the fast growing e-commerce retail brand. Once he get hands dirty with Jenny Jones, that's this idea, and he
Yeah.
wanted to position himself as a digital product and brand manager. So this is again, if you're a business owner and if you know your best friend Cody James, what he like, what he desire, I think you can reach here, even not in the best possible way, but based on your best guess, you can feed in to CrawlQ your best information about your best friend. Does that make sense?
Yes. Makes sense.
Okay, great. So then we are just answering some more question. Website
So
name.
what is the website address for? Because I saw that in there. I did a couple of them. Does that give, do you guys crawl my website
No, not
or?
yet at this stage. It's just like to create some more ideas. Maybe this is a new domain, or maybe this is new business name. Because
Uh-huh.
it just to recognize that who is a solution provider. So Jenny Jones is a solution provider here, and the target audience is Cody James.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in visual story, you also have this avatar in mind. That's how we are teaching AI in different way, from niche, micro niche, sub niche, right? And also with the story, this is what I'm triggering artificial intelligence in a specific way to think about a specific person and about a specific topic.
Okay.
Does that connect the idea?
Yeah, no,
Idea?
it's funny. It's a different type of thinking. I remember we were in college, and they just kept talking about the psychology, and you have to get into what a person's thinking. So even before you start putting out all this content, you got to know what the other person on the other side is thinking. Definitely, if you use the Fred methodology, where you can trigger fears and responses, and people want an expectation and a desire, that's what make people pull their credit cards out to make the purchases. But you have to be able to trigger that. And so as you move forward here, it's really important that we write this, but it's not as though we are describing one person, but it's going to cover so many people, right? So, does that make sense? It's going to cover so you and I think our fears are, we just think we're writing to talk about Cody, when there's a million Codys out there.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. But it's a million Codys that are going to pull out their credit card. It's probably 5 billion people, but there's a million Codys that will pull out their credit card. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We wanted to start with our best friend because we can know our best friend, your best friend, Cody James, in this situation better, right? And we are not talking about the dishwashing or other skills of Cody James. We are talking in a specific situation and a specific problem, right?
Okay.
So Cody James is our target, and Jenny Jones is the school of digital marketing, right? And the main topic is how to break into digital marketing in 2022. See, here again, I want to tell you that just make best guess of what you want AI to spit out, what you want AI to get in control. We can again look into SEO tools. We can modify this topic. We can check search volumes. And if you want, you can also do this pre-research, but not necessary at this stage. Just go with the flow and just talk to Cody James, your best friend. That's what I want at this stage.
And at my school, I also teach another hack too, how we can answer a lot of these questions better too. I'm not going to get into that right now, but
okay. That's for the third episode.
Third episode, possibly.
Yes. And one more answer or one more topic: how to make 6 figures income in digital marketing from Jenny Jones coaching and guidance, right?
Makes sense? What's going on here? I mean, so you're saying a long tail topics into the main topic of interest, trying to answer questions, because we talked about who we talked about a person, Cody James, but then when you got long tail topic here, what are we putting in here? What should be our thought here? Like what types of files, what is our thought here in this particular question? I've always wanted to ask you that.
Yes, I'll answer this. So the upper questions about niche, micro niche is more, these are triggering artificial intelligence and also the story. But this set of questions like main topic of interest and the long tail topic, this is creating additional context to pull the data from Google. So remember, this tool combine not only artificial intelligence data, but also the data from Google based on dreams, desires, roadblocks, suspicion about how to start a career.
So Cody, so you're saying Cody, if we went back to use Cody, you're saying one of the desires could be, hey, how do I make 6-figure income in digital marketing? That could be one of his desires or his expected outcome. Okay. All right.
Because this tool is a combo of artificial intelligence and all the data that exists on the search engine, and it combines them together. And there's a linking pin between Google data and our other research, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's important. And then again, telling AI in some different way, a single big shocking statement. So did you know that breaking into digital marketing is possible even if you do not hold a university degree?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
There's something that you can come up with a statement, and this is just based on what you think about your best friend Cody James, right? You can understand him, can come up with some surprise statement to him. And one of the biggest emotional payoff for Cody is to spot a new career opportunity, digital marketing, to create $1 million business. So this is kind of emotional payoff. Now, answering this question, you can just I just follow this example, which were on the 3D printing. So I try to, as much as in the same structure as these examples, because we tested this example, we tried to optimize on these examples. Also, you see these green ticks, there are word limits. So once you extend to those word limits or character limits, you will see the red or amber color on these. So it's important to structure our information in the same way, not to type story here or big statements.
So what'll happen if I over type? Because right now you put the mouse over and it hovers, it says perfect. So what if I only put 2 words in here? Then I won't get perfect. I'll get amber or red, meaning that I don't have enough. So you're not feeding enough information in there, allowing the artificial intelligence to go do its work. Okay.
Right. We have created some sort of traffic light system, red, amber, green, just to guide the user that
that's good.
This is enough, this is less, and this is too much, right? So if you're in green zone, then this is good enough. And this is you can just follow the example.
Some of the other AI tools out there, they tell you just, hey, you should put in anywhere between 7 to 8 characters or whatever. It doesn't give you, I like this feature. It doesn't give you no, it's not enough, or some of them just won't let you go forward. They don't tell you you can't go forward and you're wondering what's wrong. And so I like this little indicator here.
Right. So let's go to the next step. So let's, yes. So back, we are again on the step 2. We just filled all the information. And
so what is step 2? What is step 2 called? What is that?
So step 2 is, really like researching steps. So in the background, we have our niche, sub niche, micro niche, little story about our best friend. Vertical.
So we answered the questions for step 1. So step 2 is, what are we doing? Evaluating the responses, or what is step 2 actually?
So step 2 is really taking the responses and generating the outcomes, the research. Like, imagine that you will be going to each of the Google tab and reading the documents there and doing those research manually about their dreams, desires. At this moment, it's just all pulling the data together and try to answer those questions as much as possible.
Okay.
So if you go to the next step, you will be directed to those whole research questions that will be answered by Athena. And in the step 3, we are just going to review them. So you can see here, we started with this niche. So this is what we input information. A student and young professional who is looking for a new career in digital marketing. This is all our information, right? We recognize this information, including our best friend, Cody James. Then in the next step, it spit information about your domain, company name. Now, what you can see, it's also answering all those questions, research questions. So who is the decision maker, role, title, age of the person. And this is what we are going to quickly review if the answers are correct or not, right? Sometimes answer could be wrong, but we are just.
So let me break this down. So it brought this information back?
Yes. The information, not only what we gave the information, but it also researched the information. So all these research steps, we answered only 10 questions. Now we got answers almost about 55 questions.
So it gave us more on the occupation too. Entrepreneur, teacher, digital marketing expert. Okay.
Yes. Right. So you can see it has sort of done some research on our demographics.
Okay.
I'm going to save it. So the step that we are into, final step, is just review the information if we are missing something, or if you wanted to add something.
And so step 1, let's do a real quick recap. Step 1 is you answer the question. Step 2 is you look and evaluate the responses.
Yes, that's what we are doing currently, evaluating the responses.
Okay, evaluating responses. Okay, and then step 3 is what?
Step 3 is we are going to quickly generate insights.
Okay, we're not at step 3 yet?
Yet we are reviewing in this step 3 our responses generated from AI. And in this step, we are also going to generate some insights to see if we can improve our answers more. Remember, I said in the beginning that we are starting with the gut feeling, the best idea about it. And now we are also generating more insights. We are expanding our research. And it's just for your own understanding that if you have some more inputs, you can sort of modify this input.
So let's go back over to the blocks off to the left. Define your niche, semantics, define niche, psychographics. All of that was pre-populated for us.
Yes. Earlier, if you remember, a lot of
Yeah.
people were complaining that we need to answer all this question. No,
Yeah,
but
no,
now
no,
you
no, no.
don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
That's
going.
okay. So
So
that's important. I just wanted to know because now we have all these green dots here, these green
yes,
check marks. I just wanted to make sure it's not so much. I already know what it was because I've
correct.
I've worked with your tool enough. So these now are filled out for us. Is that what's
Yes.
going on? We still
Let,
can
let,
review and evaluate this though, right?
exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's read some of these. So we only had two topics, but it's also saying how to get 1 million visitors in a month. This is
Oh wow.
important.
Okay.
How to master digital marketing in 5 minutes a day with working with Jenny Jones, of course, right?
Right.
How to get into digital marketing. How to spot a scam in digital marketing. Wow, that's
Okay. So
interesting.
no, so these are giving us these are actual topics we can generate
Exactly.
document. Okay. Okay. Man.
I never
This
thought about this, right? How to spot a scam in digital
I
marketing.
think I might do something on that, man. I might do something on that.
The headline, how Google is trying to help small businesses in 2000. Here we that's what the review step was, right? We wanted to make it 2022, and maybe you wanted to change something here. What
Okay.
is the best SEO tips for the beginners? And even it's going into sub headlines, how digital marketing can help in making six-figure income. So to me, it looks
Mm.
just I reviewed this, and to me it looks good. Maybe you wanted to share some more
No, it
insights
looks
or
good. So we pull that back and we can kind of analyze and says, oh, instead of 2018, we can make it 2022. It's the beginning of the year. We'll definitely get a lot of
yeah.
hits from that, or if it's a blog post or something like that. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Good stuff.
then this is psychographic. So single big desire is to create $1 million business. Digital marketing expert. This person want to become. Problem, you can't find a job in digital marketing. Problem, inadequate technical skills for digital marketing. Solution, or sort of in the sense of problem agitation. Solution, digital marketing professionals are high in demand, and you can profit from learning digital marketing. That's our solution, right? You see the agitation, you see
Mm-hmm.
the problem. So problem, agitation, solution. You remember the PAS formula of
Yes.
problem, agitation, solution. That's what the formula has been created here. Single big question that these people are asking: would you like to have $1 million business through digital marketing? That's what
Okay.
these people are, students and the professionals who want to make career in digital marketing is thinking throughout their night. Maybe they are keeping awake themselves with this idea of how can I make $1 million business through digital marketing. Result
All right.
that they want to get from Jenny Jones a clear path to start earning money by working just 1 hour a day, right?
No,
their
this is good stuff.
their roadblock, lack of marketing degree. I remember
So
I
let's
said
go ahead. I was gonna kind of speed us up a little bit so we can wrap this up, and then tomorrow we can kind of break down into what we're gonna do next with it. But I wanted to make sure that we are able to at least, and I see where we're going with this, and and what I want users or listeners to see is the information they're getting back. This sparks ideas on what you could write about or what you can develop things around. You can even put a curriculum together from a lot of this as well. So I kind of wanted us, and these are a lot of different things. So what do you do here now? You just save out here? You wanted to finish your thought. I'm sorry. I
yeah,
cut you off.
it's what if I don't have much time and let the AI do the heavy work, because I'm sort of lazy person, I don't want it to do all the research. I'll just generate those insights and I'll save them for now. And I can I can tell you that these insights are super specific to the information that we have provided and validated. So
So
you just
am I defining a insight for each one of the green tabs? I mean the tabs off
yes,
to the left.
yes,
So I
yeah,
want to get I want to get insights from defining my niche. I want to get insights from the niche demographics. I'm going to get insights from niche semantics and niche
yeah.
psychographics.
Exactly. And
Oh my goodness. This is yeah.
this is going to open new door for Athena to learn this knowledge. So we are just building the knowledge. You just if you're short of time and you don't have time
No,
to
no, no. We're you're saying if we are sure. No, we're good. I
yeah,
just was kind of wanted us. And so is this so this is part three. Part three is getting insights. Is that part
yes,
three?
yes,
Okay.
this part 3 is getting inside. What I was saying actually, people are short on their time. They're lazy. They don't want to even look at what research they could have done by their 2 or 3 days of work, right? This is
Right.
all you can click the button, generate, it's all automatically saved, and it will be used during training Athena. So
Now,
if you're really short of your time,
mhm.
not you, Jenny Jones, but someone who is doing research, you can just generate these insights and continue
Normally
creating.
what I do, right? And I'm gonna throw this hack out there, right? It's not, I'm always with a digital hack, right? Normally what I do is I have an idea of what I want to write with. Like I'll do my content maybe a week in advance,
Yeah.
but I always do my research first. Like if I want to put out 2 pieces next week, I'm gonna do research around the 2 pieces that I want to do. I always do that up front. But even before I sit down and start developing some of the content pieces, I always do that first, because in my discovery, I always find, I could switch that and do this and do that, because SEO is driving more towards that way. So I can switch up my content a little bit. So I
Let
think
me
being lazy, it hurts versus being more prepared and more proactive and doing a lot of the research up front. I think there's a bigger benefit in that. That's all I wanted to
Right.
say. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. So, how much time you spend in researching the information, the 2 piece of content that you wanted to write? How much time it take to you?
Honestly, I would probably, to write a piece, I probably spend about an hour and a half, just
Mhm.
trying to look at different, how do I want to say it? What I want my title to be, try to get enough keywords in there. And I'll do keyword researches. I have so many tools. I'll do keyword researches. I'll do a couple of things. I can form something up to do this and to do that. And I am a big proponent of begin with the end in mind. So all the businesses that I put together, all the courses that I put together, I always look at the end and the benefit and the end, and then I start putting my pieces together backwards. And
Right.
it comes out, I always have the perfect piece, because I start at the end already. I say, I know what the benefit is going to be, and I want them to get this aha benefit at the end. And I want
Yeah.
them to refer me to other people if I give them this. And I always go back and I do the research first, and then I
So,
put it all together.
so let me break it down hypothetically. So, if you are spending 1 hour, you can probably in 1 hour go to 3 different tools. And if I am not or exaggerating it, then maybe 5 or 6 different Google topics. But just multiply that research that you
Uh
could do in 1 hour by
huh.
almost 30 to 40 times. Imagine the power of this initial input. And now you have scaled this research 30 to 40 times. It is taking more data point from Google. It is taking more data point from whole artificial intelligence and
Right.
structuring this information, putting it here. And sometime you might do a research, but 3 days later you might do that research on a pen and paper. Maybe then pen and paper is lost, or the PowerPoint crashed,
No.
or
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you have not put that structured information somewhere else. But now you have created this information, this knowledge, and Athena is going to train on this. So imagine the power of what we could possibly do it in 1 hour, and power that we are producing here just with the real data, human injected data, real data,
Right.
and the combination of artificial intelligence replacing the manual research, replacing the questionnaire surveys, or replacing this old method of even going through hundreds of customer call and trying to figure out what is the pain point in this
So, well, no,
problem.
no. I mean, so I get what you're saying, and this is for people who are interested in using CrawlQ, and this is also for people. This is probably mostly for people that have the tools already invested in the tool as well, right? I think there's another video I'll probably show, and you can probably click up here. You'll probably see it where I'm actually talking to you and talking about the background of this actual tool. So that's more for them. That's more of what you just said, is you could save hours and times. This particular video is once you get the tool and you start trying to check it out. So it's good. It's good that you reiterated that, hey, what used to take you hours now only takes you, 20 minutes, because now you have so much information already invested from Athena training it, that now you can sit down, you can pump out an article. And so how long will it take you to pump out an article after Athena is trained
So
now, do you
just
think?
within 5 minutes, we can pump out article, 5 or 10 minutes, the first draft, and then iteration on that in
Oh,
10
okay.
minutes. You can easily create a 1,000 word article.
So just to do a recap real quick before you start, if I spent, like I already told you, I say, hey, I spent about an hour or 1.5 hours doing my initial research, but it still takes me about another hour to refine and get that together. So I'm basically, if it's taking me 2.5 hours, and then maybe I want to do 2 documents a week, that's 5 hours, right? So now it's taking me 5 hours to get 2 articles out with all the research included. Now it would take me, just using CrawlQ, what would it take me? Just based on what I told you. It was taking me 5 hours to do 2 articles. Now I can do what took me in 5 hours to do 2 articles. I can now do 5 or 6 articles in what?
Yeah, you can do 7 or 8 articles per week. You don't need to do that 1.5 hour of research every week, because you can create now just article after article, post after post, without going into the research mode. So your research is done for.
That's what I wanted you to say. Why you just
Yes.
didn't say that when we first started the recording?
You don't have to do the research.
No, what I'm saying
anymore.
is I don't have to do the research anymore, because the article, the information is going to always be there. So let me get this as we kind of wrap up. So Athena, is it constantly learning, right?
Yes.
Is it so it's constantly learning. So it's going out, and say I do an article, say I do 2 articles today. I go out and today, and I come back a week from today. It's went out and scoured and pulled more information in for me. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And
okay.
let me answer this, because you initially asked me, like, do I need to think about content at this stage? So blog, article, and now I understand, because you were doing research with a specific output of a blog or article or post, right? So your research is always relative to what you wanted, content. Here, that is not the case. Your research is done, and your research is done no matter you're writing a book, white paper, content, the small snippet. You don't need to think about content. So that answer, I think, your question. Because
because I can do whatever I want to do now that the research. Now I did all my heavy lifting on the front end.
Yes.
Now I can do all. Okay, so we got this. So let's go back through the steps as we kind of bring this to a close, because we're almost at the 4th step. So the first step was answer the questions, right? You answer the questions up front. The second one is you evaluate the responses that it gives you, right? And the third is to gather insight from each one of the responses. It's optional. Third is optional, but it is a step to get better content, because we already know once I get this content nailed in, all my other articles will flow. Matter of fact, I can put out 2 blog papers a week, or put out 2 a month. It depends on my writing, and I'll have it all just from this one input. So I like that. So I'm gonna put here optional.
I would say it has two purpose is preferred. Why is this preferred? Because you might get extra gold digging that you have not thought while you started about. When we talk your best friend Cody James, maybe we don't know about something.
Now I have to be honest with you here. When I first got into this tool a couple of months ago, I want to say maybe 5-6 months ago, that's what I discovered. If I discovered anything else, is I discovered more gold, right? And it's like, and I remember when you and we had this conversation, I kept saying, oh, I could write about this now. I can write about that now. And it was like discovering gold for the first time. And I remember that. So I do remember that aha moment when I first had this tool. It was finding more gold, and it was the insights that did it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, it has some kind of telepathy for me, because when you started telling me telepathy, when you said in the beginning, like about this topic, how to get started with digital marketing, and you said this topic is getting popular on the YouTube, right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
In front of my eyes now, I read this. YouTube marketing involves creating videos that attract viewers and generate online traffic, including made to watch videos that are 30-60 long ago. So video marketers allow business to influence visitors, blah, blah, blah. So it's listening to us, man. It's listening to us. It's listening to our ideas.
No, that's good. So we got all our steps. So what now is the 4th step? So you gather the insights from all the different the research parts. So now what do we do?
We're just going to today train Athena, and that's our final step. And
so that's our final step. So so here's what happens here. So because we're going to have a part 2 to this, right? And putting the
Yeah,
actual document together.
Yes.
So train Athena, right? So I kind of want to wrap this up with what Athena is doing now, right? And I kind of want us to finish that up on what. So you tell us right now, first of all, who is Athena? Where did the name come from? And what is really Athena? Is that like what's the Google one? And then is that like Siri? Is that like Siri? Is that like okay? So you guys named it. You guys named it Athena. I don't know. You named it Athena, but what is Athena going out to do?
Athena is a smart, intelligent layer, your assistant, your artificial assistant to collect your information, expand this information, collecting in the background more information and become more and more knowledgeable and connect all this information while you create your content, right? So it's a connecting point, is a kind of an intelligent layer between language models and your users' input. Collect information, expand on that, and talk to language model every time you create content. That's the goal of Athena. Athena is a middle intelligent assistant.
So let me get this right. So Athena, so every time I write an article in here, Athena is learning from that as well?
Yes, Athena is constantly learning from what you are producing and what your research was already
so
done,
it's doing I want to say maybe 3 jobs. It's learning from me and the content that I'm putting together. It's going out and scouring and researching content and bringing it back. Yes. And then what else is it doing?
I'll put 3 things. So it's researching, learning, and writing. Researching, learning, and writing in the loop. Researching, learning, writing. And you can expand the knowledge of Athena also in more steps on the market research, because this was our first initial level of market research. And those people who wanted to go into sales letter, copywriting, of course, they can go into further steps like case studies. And let's talk about sometime other, because we don't want to get it's a bit overwhelming.
Yeah. So no, we'll go into we'll pick it up tomorrow, finishing up and trying to see what Athena brought back to us. So we'll finish that up on our next one. But I just wanted to close it out with that. And did you have any closing remarks?
Yeah, sure. Before I close, I just wanted to push the button, power up Athena. What we are doing, we had the niche information, and you remember we also had our topic. Our topic was how to break into digital marketing in 2022. So this, along with, I can take up to 10 different combination of this topic, and it's going to go into Google and search about roadblocks of how to get start digital marketing career. Suspicion, dreams, desire, all those topics that you would have done manually research is going to do for you. When I say power up, so it's going to in the back end sort of power it up, means get more knowledge about your initial topics. At this stage, I'm just training it, making it more powerful with all the psychographic data that she can found on the Google.
So here's what happened as we kind of close this out. And it depends. It can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, or is it already done? Is that what
it's done, already done. Training.
Well, hold on. We're going to stop there, right? Because we're going to have a part 2. We're going to pick it up on part 2 on what happens. What did Athena go out and find out for us? Listen, this has been exciting. Listen, do you have anything else? Don't show us nothing else, right? Because we're going to pick it up tomorrow, because I know you want to go on, but I wanted to keep this somewhat short, and I wanted to go through our 4 steps. So let's go through them again. You answer the questions first. I think it's 12 questions. Then you come back and listen, people, if you don't have time to answer 12 questions about your business and how much money it can generate for you, I don't know what we're going to do about that, right? We can't train you for that. Maybe we need to learn your psychographics. If you don't know, to understand that the power you put in the front end is going to generate more revenue on the back end, right? Number 2 is we answer the question. Number 2 is we look at the responses. We evaluate the responses of what we put in. And then number 3 is getting insights, digging for more gold. Right. I have right here, digging for more gold. It's optional, right? And I am going to say, hey, it's optional. You don't have to, but it's mostly preferred for you to do that. You're not hurting anything, right? And the machine is doing all the heavy lifting, so it's okay.
Exactly.
And 4 is we're going to train Athena. Athena is going to go out. Athena is going to say, okay, so we got this. We'll take this, put this here. We'll put that there. And the more combinations you bring back, that gives you more ideas and more content to write over a longer period of time.
Exactly.
And I think what'll throw people off, and I think I want to make this clear because I am a consumer, you are the founder, but I think the more combinations you do up front, the more, if you move into the monthly refreshings or something like that, I think the more you put up front, that should take you through a 30-day window, right? Unless you're just writing about, you have different work niches, you have different people you're trying to do, then that's different. But if you say, hey, give me a nice amount because I want to write on this. If you're running 2 different blogs, then you can probably get a nice amount for the first run for Athena, and then you get a nice amount for the second run. And then that should take you through the rest of the 30 days until it replenishes. That's just my thought. And then I think it even gives you so much more data that you may not even need it the next month. You can still continue to write more and more off of the original one that you wrote. Is that, I mean, I'm a consumer, so I'm thinking I'm always going to be looking out for the people as well as trying to understand what the founder is thinking. But does that make sense? Is that a good logic?
Yeah, that was the actually great sort of foundation for CrawlQ to research as much as upfront so that you can save time. And then Athena is going to sort of learn, continuously write consistent copy, very specific, unique copy. And you don't need to, again, sort of go into this research mode. Research is done one time, you can refine it, but then you are producing consistent, very specific target audience specific copy.
Great. That's going to end it. That's going to end it for our show tomorrow. I can't wait till tomorrow, man. What did Athena bring back for us and what do we got in store? So those 4 steps you have today to get you started, you should be off and running today to get it started. And if you can follow along with this video if you have CrawlQ, you can follow along with this video, or you can get it from the link below. You can pick it up. And then you can walk through these steps and play this video back and walk through these steps up to here. And then tomorrow we're going to break into Athena and see what it brought us back. So again, this is Jenny Jones, Digital Growth Hacks Club. We're always trying to find you ways to help you save money and to make money. That's what we do here, and then grow your bottom line. This has been Jenny Jones on behalf of the founder of CrawlQ. We would like to thank you, Mr. Harish Kumar, for joining us today. We will be back with a part 2 for sure. If you need the information, if you want to pick this tool up, I think it's a 7-day, is it 7-day or 14-day trial?
7 days free trial.
7-day free trial and the link below. Go ahead and pick it up. Let's get into this thing. Let's have a good year. Let's train some things up. The same old writing is getting very competitive out there. You got to change your game up. All right.
Yes.
This is Jenny Jones. You guys take care. Goodbye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us here on the Digital Growth Hack Club, where we help you elevate your business and your bottom line. Please do not forget to subscribe and share. And until next time, goodbye for now.